Hello everyone, and welcome back to another Kerbal Space Program video, 10% Science Mode. This week I actually had to go out of town, so I wasn't able to do a whole lot of streaming. But the streams that I did do were on Monday, Friday, and Saturday. And I think we are finally finished with Duna. On Monday, we continued the surface missions. At this point, going down to Duna and getting science has become almost routine. Nothing's exciting almost anymore. No, we've gotten all the exciting stuff out of the way. Our little abomination of a shuttle is working beautifully. There's really no more to advance on it. We've just about wrapped up every single landing site there is. However, that doesn't mean that the Kraken doesn't want to have a little fun with us. One, undock. There we go. There we are. There she is. What the fuck? No! 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 What the hell is this? What the hell is this? I don't think so, Kraken. F9, you little bias. F9. I'm flipping you off. No one can see, but I'm double flipping you, you piece of crap. Why now, of all times, would you lose your crap? Why now? Why? Why now? There's no reason. Zero reason. Other than the fact that you're just a Kraken and you're an asswipe. You better keep that crap to yourself. I see the shivering going on. So what I'm pretty sure is happening is that the fact that our technology is extremely low. We've just barely unlocked half of the tech tree, and the only docking clamps that we have are the small little ones. So even though we're using auto strut technology, I'm pretty sure that the connections between the small little docking ports aren't all that great or even stable. We will try to remedy this later. I will say that we've come a long way from the very first flying machine to the very first interplanetary spacecraft. We've come a long way. On Friday's stream, when I finally came back, Friday's stream was really late. I will say it was about almost 8:30 Eastern Standard Time before I got back. There was only maybe about 30 or 40 people in chat, but it was still a nice stream. However, the Kraken would show up again, because apparently it wanted us to reenact the scene from Interstellar. Made a 10% science short. Oh, that's cool. Is the MPL nerfed in this mode? Oh my gosh! What the f-
What are you doing?
Docking.
What the f- No, F9. I'm sorry, I'm not dealing with the Kraken. I'm not. All right, I'm not going to deal with replicating the scene right out of Interstellar. Okay. So after that whole fiasco, we decided to take the last of the struts that we had on board and try to strut the fuel tanks that are in the front. I don't know if this is going to work. I'm pretty sure the Kraken's going to try to destroy us again sometime in the future, but at least we gave it a try. So finally, we landed on the last biome. At least I'm pretty sure that's the last biome. I think we've gotten all of the biomes. But I did promise everybody that I would try to land near the Duna face. Now, where it's at is not exactly easy to find, especially when you have the parallax mod, which changes the surface of Duna quite a bit. But I definitely will find it. Once we visit the face, the Duna face, and try to get some science from it, if there is actual science you can get from it, our next destination will be Ike. Ike will be pretty easy. There's only like maybe 5 or 6 biomes on Ike, and then we will begin our journey back home, where the real scary part of the journey begins, because at that point, in order to slow down, we will need to slam back into Kerbin's atmosphere for aerobraking. However, it's been my experience that anything over 5,000 meters per second can pretty much destroy anything you have, even heat shields. I've been talking over it with my audience, and we've all agreed to try to make a moon intersect to help slingshot the craft in such a way that it slows it down a little bit more. This is all theoretical, of course, and we'll find out eventually. The last thing we want is for the Jolly Roger to explode in a fiery death, killing everybody on board. that would be cause for rage quit, but who knows. In the beginning of Saturday's stream, we found out that the booster that brought up the original shuttle was still in orbit. Thought I brought that sucker back down. I must have forgot. So for the first 30 minutes of the stream, we just brought that thing back down. I thought I was going to lose it, but I managed to do a jeb-a-dab maneuver just as we lost communications. And oh my goodness, that was a close one. All right, communications lost. I think we're going to lose the booster, honestly. Whoa, 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 what is this? What is this dark magic? And we got control. And the booster perfectly?
Looks like you designed the booster perfectly.
Oh no, I forgot we have the Italian guy. Gosh.
190.
Way too fast, way too heavy.
40.
Way too fast, way too heavy. Way too fast, way too heavy.
20.
Whoa, whoa,
10.
whoa, 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 whoa. Ooh. Oh. Hey, hey, you mind slowing down a little bit more here? Just a teeny bit more. Whoa. Okay, there we go. Finally, Saturday stream. Now, Saturday stream, I actually pushed it to about 4 hours. That's because I felt kind of guilty not being able to stream during the week mostly. Now, like I said before, we mostly got, well, actually no, we have pretty much all of the biome science from Duna. What I actually wanted to do was try to find the face on Duna. Now, we got really close. The face is located in one of the craters that's adjacent to a canyon. The problem being two things. One, we were kind of low on fuel because in order to get the exact landing spot, I had to burn a little bit, which kind of sucked. And two, I'm running parallax, which may actually have buried the face. Parallax builds its own landscape pretty much. It overwrites the original landscape, so it might have buried the face. I mean, we did our best. We looked, we went as far as we could before we just could not burn any more fuel because we needed at least 1500 delta V to get back into orbit, let alone dock. I mean, we pushed it to the limit, and everybody in chat agreed that we were doing about 99% effort for about 1% gain. I believe somebody actually did the research and found out you can't get any science from the face. So other than 15 minutes of fame taking pictures next to the face, that it didn't really give the mission anything. So we made a judgment call, packed everything up, and just as we were getting ready to launch, disaster struck. Kraken, of course. And lifting up. What's gonna happen? Oh no! Oh no! Oh my gosh!
Too low. Here.
What was that? What's going on?
Vau si upopi da shout repakit.
In an effort to repair the launch mechanism that props the shuttle upwards to about a 50-60 degree angle for launch, Snow Kerman would take one of the solar panels and attempt to use that to repair the foot. It didn't go well the first time. In fact, it scared the ever-living bejeez out of me. Alright. Just drop it right here. Boom! I just had a heart attack. Luckily, the second attempt worked well, although it scared the ever-living bejeez out of me again. You see, in Kerbal Space Program, when you attempt to construct something on the outside of the spaceplane hangar in VAB, it gives you the same options, such as the move tool. But the problem is, as soon as you select a part with the move tool, it loses its physics. And if you don't have something propping that part up, it will glitch through the ground. Woke you up. I thought the... Oh no! Oh! Oh no, 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 no! Oh no! Oh no, it did the thing! It did a horrible thing! You asswipe! Oh, you're an asswipe! Because of this glitch, if you reactivate it, meaning select the move tool off of the part, which makes the part engage its hitbox again, or collision, suddenly now it sees itself inside the ground. So one or two things will happen. It'll either bounce out extraordinarily violently or explode altogether. Somehow everything worked out okay, and we were able to make the launch back to the Jolly Roger. We had enough fuel to spare, so we had plenty of fuel in order to get a rendezvous. Now, while in orbit around Duna, I was throwing the idea around of trying again to go back to the face, but everybody in chat, including the Captain Jolly Roger himself, made the judgment call of not going back to the face. Indeed, we actually plotted a course to Ike to get some science from there. However, after crunching some numbers, we found out that getting to Ike and getting into an orbit around Ike would burn up a little too much fuel. For the next, I want to say hour, we were crunching numbers, trying to find the most efficient way possible back to Kerbin. Luckily, one of our guys had a brilliant idea. Right now, the Jolly Roger was, or should I say polar... Right now, the Jolly Roger was in a polar orbit, which is not amazing when it comes to trying to traverse back to Kerbin. Usually, equatorial orbit would be better. However, as long as we tried to get the polar orbit pointed in the direction of Duna's travel around the sun, we could still use Duna as a type of slingshot, throw us out there. And it worked, but I think the hardest part of the whole thing was saying goodbye to the shuttle. That was the hardest part. The shuttle had saved the lives of both Iron and Snow multiple times and had done most of the work. Its sister shuttle died on the first mission to the surface of Duna, and throughout its entire time on Duna, it had, in a sense, grown into this monstrosity, but such a beautiful, beautiful monstrosity of a shuttle, of a utilitarian Swiss Army knife level shuttle, taking pieces from both the Jolly Roger and the wreck of its sister shuttle and becoming something beautiful. We will definitely learn a lot from this shuttle and try to build something worthy of a successor back at the spaceplane hangar when we get back to Kerbin safely. Yep. That's the plan. Yep. So now it was time to leave Duna. We made sure everything was packed in tight, all our tray tables were upright, all the dishes put away, and in the first time for a very long time, ignited the engines. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, launch. It was almost ceremonial in nature because we had been around Duna for so long, it sort of became our home away from home. Almost literally 2 weeks or more around Duna, streaming. My audience became accustomed to being around Duna, and to know that we wouldn't be back for a very long time felt weird. Like I said, it was like leaving home away from home. So it was kind of emotional. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So now we are on our way back to Kerbin. Captain Jolly Roger and the crew have thrown around a couple of ideas of how to slow down before we reach actual Kerbin, so that we don't go slamming into the atmosphere at 5,000-6,000 meters per second. Now I know what you're gonna say. You're gonna say, "Oh, Veos, you know, it's okay as long as you have ablative material, you're fine." Blah, 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 blah. I am telling you, via experience, that is a word, I think. Even if you have a blader, there is very little chance that any part in KSP will survive a 5,000 to 6,000 meters per second slam into an atmosphere. You'll see a blader start burning down, but before that happens, you'll see the whole part glow red, and then pop, So unless something magical has happened since I've been playing, some grandeur update-o, I'm gonna call BS on that. That all you need is a blader and you're fine. Now there is a heat shield that I would love to unlock. That's an inflatable heat shield. Now that might work because it will slow down incredibly quickly before it can overheat and pop. But again, the heat shields that we got, regardless if they have a blader or not, I don't trust it. I don't. So we have to find a way to slow down before we get to Kerbin. And one of the ideas is to use the moon's gravity to slow us down. We're gonna whip around the moon. Sure, we're gonna pick up some speed, but on the way out of the moon's influence, we're gonna start slowing down. And we're gonna use our engines to burn to slow us down even more before we get to Kerbin. That's the idea. If we can get somewhere around 3,000 meters per second, maybe 4,000, I think we'll be fine. But if we're looking at 5,000-6,000 meters per second, let's not go there. Let's not think about that. That's bad juju. Let's not do that. But anyway, we won't find out until Monday, 5:30 Eastern Standard Time, when we stream the last part of the Duna mission. Everyone, thank you so much for being here, and thank you so much for being a part of this channel. If you liked what you saw, please leave a like. And if you loved what you saw, consider subscribing. We also have a membership program. If you become a member, you get cool emojis and badges and stuff next to your name. Pretty cool. Check it out. Anyway, I'll see you all in the next video or stream. Love you all. Stay safe, and I'll see you when I see you. Yeah. Lots of CUs going on, apparently. Bye-bye.